Once again, my name is Nob. This is part 2 of the Tanach law versus the law, the common law, Constitution, law of the land versus UCC, Color Rule Code, which is the Uniform Commercial Code. So now, last video, I spoke briefly about the 3 areas of jurisdiction that the American court are supposed to operate under. And now I'm gonna try to go a little bit more in depth, more in depth about these 3 areas. The first one was the common law. And like I said in the other video, it says there must be a party, a damaged party. That's the only way for this law to be used against you. If you didn't damage anything, you cannot be charged according to the common law. You know, a lot of people say the common law is like the law of the Bible. You are free to do whatever you want to do, except, you know, damaging somebody's stuff or somebody. Well, that is not true, because according to the Bible, you're not free to do whatever you want to do. The Bible has commandments. You know, not whatever you want to do, as long as you didn't hurt anybody. The Bible commands you to do things. So there is no so-called free will in the Bible. A lot of people think, no, when so-called God created us to give us free will to do what? You're not free to do whatever you want, according to the Bible. You're only free to do what the Most High tell you to do. Because the Most High, he's like a father, and the people following him, they are children. So children are not free to do whatever they want to do. Children are commanded to do, according to the Bible, to do what the parents tell them to do. So, according to, I guess, Christianity, you can do whatever you want to do. According to the devil's law, you can do whatever you want to do. See, that's why the devil went to Adam and Eve and told them, look, see, according to your God's law, whoever this guy is, you can't do whatever you want to do. But according to my law, I'm going to bring you to his level. You're going to be just like God. You're going to be an adult. You're not going to be a child anymore. That's the devil. That's how the so-called serpent spoke. Some demon. That sounds like every fool's, every idiot's, every clown's. You ain't got to follow the Most High. Just do whatever you want to do. And then eventually what happened? They died the worst way. The worst ways. When you start thinking you're going to do whatever you want to do, eventually what happened? Then bad things happen to you. Because you thought you know everything. That's why even atheists, people who don't follow any type of so-called atheists, so-called people who don't follow any type of religions, they think they're free to do anything until the Fed shows up. And then the Fed remind them, like, listen, you're an idiot. We catch you do one little thing, you see what happened to you. And then they calm down, they relax, they go hide somewhere. That's for everybody. So all that big talk, like, nah, we can do whatever we want to do, not according to the Fed. Yeah, maybe when the people who wrote the so-called American Constitution, I guess, I don't know what they were thinking. They wrote some laws. Say, look, you're free to do whatever, just don't hurt nobody, you know. And the people who came later and bought America, they said, look, you're my slave. You're my slave. Slaves don't just Slaves are worse than children. They cannot do everything they want to do. In fact, slaves, we're gonna make you do more things than children do. And whether you like it or not, that's what we're gonna make you do. So no, the law of America, specifically the common law, has nothing to do with the Tanakh law. Yeah, Christian laws. Yeah, you can do whatever. You can eat whatever if you're a Christian. That's why when most of the things that are happening out there are done by people who supposedly believe in some type of religion that tell them you can do whatever. And then what's happening in this world? Whatever's happening. You know, you have pastors that's supposed to teach people things to be right, and they're like the number one inside of that organization or congregation that's gonna be doing all type of adultery, stealing money, doing all these things. So what do you think gonna happen to the people that's following them? They're gonna be doing the same thing as them. Now church is like crazy right now. Church, so-called Christianity, I don't care which, crazy right now. Like everybody's doing everything. Even laws that says a man cannot be with another man. Now in church, it's like, psh, you have pastors that's like that. You have pastors that's dealing with other dudes. Well, I guess that's the American law, the common law. You can do whatever you want to do as long as you don't damage somebody else's thing. But that was from until 1938. After 1938, America is not like that. Anything you do, you're gonna have to pay for the consequence in court, whatever it is. You know, the only right you have right now, sometimes you don't even have it. It's the right to remain silent. And you go to court, you're trying to plead that right, plead the fifth. Yo, I'm not gonna say anything, and they still find you guilty, and you still go to court, even when you say, look, I don't want to say anything because the law said for me not to say anything. Say, well, since you're not saying anything, guess what? You're going to jail. That's how hypocritical these people are with their laws. You know, so this video is about to open up a few eyes to really understand what's going on with the so-called law of the land, what rights you have and what rights you don't have, what rights you think you have and you don't. So that was a little bit more about the common law, to compare it with because of the title, Tanach's law versus law of the land, Constitution versus UCC. So they're not the same. And then like in the other video. So right now I'm just going over what I already said and add a little bit more. So the next part, the next area of jurisdiction in the American Constitution is the equity law. Like I already said, it's a law that compels performance of a contract. If there's no contract, then there's no law. So that law has to do with a contract. That's it. So if you're not dealing with any contract, don't worry about the equity law. That's not for you. So basically, you can go back to the common law. It has to do with you for whatever it is. You can do whatever, but you cannot infringe on nobody's else's life or property or whatever that somebody else owns. You don't go in and violate them, their stuff, whatever it is. That's a common law. And then the third law I already spoke about, and I'm refreshing your minds, is the Admiralty / maritime laws. And that's laws dealing with the sea. If you check out the definition for the word admiralty, it says laws concerning naval ship. Laws concerning naval ship. So now, let me get this right. You have laws concerning naval ship. Then these people are going to come, like I said in the other video, in 1938, said, look, these people came and said and told America, look, now that I own you, we are owned, we are a corporation. The only laws you guys should worry about is a maritime law, the admiralty law, and the Constitution. Anything else? Listen, if you go to court and want to keep telling the judge, look, the Constitution says this, the Constitution says that, the Constitution says this, that whatever little stick he has in his hand, they can reach and hit you in the head with it and say, next time you say this, I'm going to find you in contempt. And you're going to have to go sit down inside one of those cages. And then you're going to have to say, okay, boss, you know, I don't want no problem. No problem for me. No problem. I'm not going to say anything. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to jump or sit? Whatever you say, I'm going to do. You want me to sit? I'm going to sit. Jump or lie down. So, you see, now, these people, the international creditors who give America credit, now America owes them money. The U.S. debt is been crazy for years and years and years and years and years and years and getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So they say, okay, you guys are my slaves now. I would like to say a better word, but, you know, I'm trying to keep it clean. So you guys are my pussycats. And the fact that we are international, we live overseas, and you guys are overseas and the other side of the seas, the only laws you guys gonna have to acknowledge between us two, us being the masters and you being the slaves, that's the admiralty laws. The one that says ships, the overseas laws, those. Although you're living on lands, you don't live in no seas. You're not even overseas, but, well, you're overseas compared to them because you're on the other side of the sea, wherever they are. So this is the only law. They said, look, the hell with take the common laws, shove them somewhere. The equity laws, shove them somewhere. Now admiralty law, that's it. You guys are my overseas peasants, overseas slaves, overseas pussycats. We own you. We own you. So when we tell you to go to sleep, go to sleep. Any day, these people can wake up and say, listen, today we declare martial law. Nobody moves, nobody gets hurt. Everybody shut the hell up. And then the minute they declare martial law, they say, look, FEMA, the same person when, you know, the same organization when every time there's a little disaster that happened, oh, FEMA is responding. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. The same people when you have a little tornado that slap your house a little bit, and then you gotta say, oh wow, I need a couple of bucks, and you know that's to FEMA. These people, FEMA, FEMA, females, FEMA. I don't know what's the connection. It's close enough. FEMA are gonna be the one once they declare emergency. Anytime they declare some major emergency, then they're gonna say, well, the Constitution is on hold now. The Constitution has been on hold since 1938. It's not gonna be on hold. It's been on hold. Stop playing games. And all the constitution's been it's been a hole now. Now FEMA takes over, and that's when the Fed come, with his belt. So everybody, yo, we got camps for you. Concentration camps, go over here. You black ones go over here. You yellow ones go over here. You green ones go over here. That's what would happen if any big emergency was to be declared. FEMA takes over, and the Constitution just, that's been abolished. It's been on hold, abolished, destroyed, whatever they did to it. Then they're gonna say, "Oh well, now the Constitution is abolished." No, it's not. Not now. It's been on hold. It's been like, it's on hold, especially for people who don't know the law, people who don't know how to use the UCC codes, those codes, know them and use it to force them to go back to the Constitution and force them to judge your Constitution because of one thing, like I said in the other video. They cannot admit that they are pussycats for international creditors. They cannot admit it is not, like I said before, expedient for them. So admit it. They can't, because the people who own America, they said, we are not ready to let you know. A time gonna come, we're gonna show you, but we're not ready. Why they're not ready? Because the whole world is not on board with that. They took over the majority of the world, but there are some other countries, they haven't taken over them yet, and they probably will never. There are some other countries who tell them, look, we're not your slaves. We don't need your money. Stay over here. We don't need your debts. We don't need your help. You got bombs, we got bombs too. Just pull up and see what happened. Because the whole world is not underneath their umbrella. So they say, look, we have to make sure we get everybody on board. And those we cannot get on board, we're going to have to deal with them. Maybe that's why you see all this chaos thing going on, starting to go on worldwide, So I guess we got to watch to see. Those of us who already know what's going on. And a lot of us, we're like zombies. Like they say, in this world, you got those who make things happen, and those who watch things happening. They are watchers. You got doers, you got watchers. And then you got those who hear things are happening. They are hearers now. And then you got the last group, the other group, who wonder what's happening. Most people are wonderers. They're wondering what, they have no idea what's going on. They just keep wondering. Most people in this world are a bunch of wanderers. A lot of them. They wonder what's happening. Yeah, as I was saying, there was 4 different type of people. And most people are the wanderers. So, now, we're gonna, that was a little bit more on the maritime law. How those international creditors, how they took over America. And then they only have us abide by that third area of jurisdiction in the so-called law of the land, the so-called Constitution, the maritime, just to let people know in America, you are owned. You have masters, and your masters are overseas. So the only laws for you to follow is the maritime laws. Maritime laws, or admiralty, which is the same thing, pertaining to the sea. And then now when you go to the Constitution, admiralty law or maritime law is only in effect if there was a international maritime contract, not just, because it's overseas and then you were under the so-called maritime law or the admiralty law. There had to be a contract, international contract. So for these people to come and take over America in 1938 and said, look, this is how the court's only allowed to operate. It's only admiralty law. Only admiralty / maritime laws. So they had to have a contract, an international contract with America. Well, if they come and help you with your debts, and then now they let you borrow some money, at that point, you have to pay. And if you cannot pay, then you're in trouble. And that trouble is you're a slave. These people, like I said in the other video, the head of those families called the Rothschild family. The Rothschild family is a Jewish family that started since a long time ago in the 1700s with one dude, one guy named Mayer Armstrong Rothschild. He was a small-time coin collector. Eventually, he used a bunch of schemes and made a lot of money. And he had 5 sons. Then he had each son. He sent each son, before he died, each son in a different country in Europe to run banks over there. France, Germany, Russia, 5 different parts of Europe. That's how they started. One thing Mayer Armstrong Rothschild, one thing he had in his mind as a model, a motto, what he have in his mind as modus operandi, a normal mode of operation in his mind. He said to himself, he said he believed in it. He said, look, if you have the power over any country's money, it doesn't matter who make the laws. Like they say, money talks, BS walks. He said, all I need is just a power over their money. Then at that point, they are my pussycats. I own them. It's all about money. Once you run the money, the hell with who passed the laws. And the funny thing with them, not only they took over the money through the Federal Reserve Agency, which is not really which is not federal at all. The very unfederal entity, the most unfederal entity in the whole world, call himself the Federal Reserve. Just to camouflage itself with the word federal. So when you hear the Fed, automatically you're thinking, oh, the legislative branch of America, or the presidents. Most people don't know. The Federal Reserve has nothing to do with federal at all. It's not federal at all. It's a bunch of federal crooks, federal thieves, federal creditors, federal international creditors. Just like Mayer Armstrong Rothschild started like a thief. He used all type of schemes to take over stuff. That's how these people still operate. And like I said, the model from the pioneer, the dude who started the whole thing in the 1700s. He was a so-called, one of those founder of the so-called Illuminati. He was a so-called illuminist. And then eventually him as the starter, and more of them, then they became a team. And then they came up with something. They said, look, once we take over the money, we take over the world. Everywhere. Doesn't matter about their laws. Although, usually when they take over the money, they took over the whoever write the laws, just like in America. And which branch write laws in America? Congress. They took over Congress, 100%. Not only they took over all three branches, but the main branch is the person who passed the law of the country, the law of the land, Congress. And then the muscle guy, the guy who's gonna rough you up if you don't follow the law. That's the other federal. That's the other federal government, the other one, the fake one. Meaning the presidents and that whole branch, the legislative branch. And then you have the other crooks, the third branch. The other crooks, the other criminals, these are called the judges. That's the judicial branch. So those are the ones who say, okay, well, these group of thieves, they wrote the law, Congress. These other dudes, the other branch, you're the muscle guy. You're the hitman. You're a mafia hitman. You're the henchman. That's the executive branch. You're the muscle. You guys better do it. And then the judges now, the judicial branch now, the judges and their officers, meaning the lawyers. Because a lawyer is nothing but an officer of the court. That's it. And they got that idea strictly from the Tanach, where you have judges, most times say appoint judges and officers. So they got that idea from there. And a lawyer, attorney, well, a U.S. attorney, any type of attorney is nothing but an officer of the court. None more than a cop in the court. That's it. That's a lawyer. That's what, although they don't stay inside the courts like cops. All of the courts, all of them, they have their own little cops there. But lawyers are just officers of the court. That's it. And the judges are the people who claim, well, we're not lawyers. We don't practice law. We're just here. We're just sitting here waiting for these other regular citizens over there called jurors to say this person's guilty, and then we say, okay, you're guilty because why you're guilty? Because these dudes over there say you're guilty. Not me. They say you're guilty. These are jurors, and these are a bunch of common people. Like, they could be any type of idiots. Any type of idiot. You don't have to know anything. All you do, you just, while you're home, you have nothing better to do, you go to your mailbox and you got a letter that says, yo, you gotta be a juror. Like, what? Juror. I gotta go to work. I got a plantation. I got some cotton I gotta pick. Like, oh, we don't care about none of that. There's a criminal. We want to know if he's a criminal. Although we think he's a criminal, but we're not sure. You gotta report yourself, and the hell with your job. Whether your job like it or not. If your job want to pay you, they pay you. They're not paying you, that's your business. You just better bring yourself, although that is very unconstitutional. You better bring yourself, and if you don't, see that guy we trying to put in jail, you're going to join him. These people are, wow, these people are crazy. Why don't you people hire, people for that thing, for that jury thing? Why the hell are you going to mess with people's lives and trying to say you better come and come do jury duty? What? That's not in the Constitution. To come be a jury duty. BS. These people, they treat people like slaves. Like, you slave, come over here. You don't bring yourself here, then you're gonna go to jail. That's totally unconstitutional. That's not part of the common law. That's not part of the equity law. And that's definitely not part of the admiralty law. That's those three laws. That's it. That's the only areas of jurisdiction any court can operate in freaking America. That's it. So you tell me, yo, come and be a jury. Come be a jury. I'm like, okay, which part of, where's that in the Constitution? Don't worry about that. You better come, or else we put you in jail. In the Constitution, the part that they always threaten you with jail, you're a criminal, you're gonna be criminally indicted, whatever. That was only it wasn't in the common law. It wasn't the equity that has to do with contract. That was in the overseas laws, the law that says pertaining to the seas. Those you could be a criminal, So the maritime law, the admiralty law. That's why when these crooks came and took over so-called America, they said, look, the common law, put that in the garbage. We don't care about that. Because we are masters, you're slaves. So we need laws that we can use belts on you in case you say the wrong thing, in case you think the wrong thing, in case you feel the wrong thing. We need a belt to whoop you. That's it. You don't like that? That's your business. That's why they say, okay, well, it's like they went to the Constitution. They're like, okay, this is the Constitution. Let's see. This law, that's not going to work for us. Let's see. The next law, that's not going to work either. That one, we can make that one work. We can make admiralty work. Maybe with admiralty, we're going to convince them that, that they're guilty. And then, once we can convince them that they're guilty, then we can whip them. And then nobody say, look, this is you using the law, that's pertaining to the sea. And the thing about the law that's pertaining to the sea, black people should be the last people you should use that law against. Black people don't even know how to swim. So why would you use that on us? We're not in the sea. We don't even go in the sea. We don't even know how to swim. At least get people who know how to swim, who's swimming. When you catch them swimming, then you deal with them. These people are idiots. But they think we're the bigger idiots. Anyway, we're worse than them. We're dumber than them. These people are crazy. These laws, America, and the laws that they follow, they use on people. They use on people, and they call that a civilization. No, it's not civilization. That is uncivilization. That's very uncivilized. The laws that you guys use to rough people up for no reason most of the times. Reason that don't even make sense. The laws they use to bully people with, you judges that were forced to abide by those laws and try to make them make sense, you people are a bunch of idiots. That's why when you find someone that really knows the law, they understand the real laws, the real constitutional law, the so-called law of the land, and the UCC laws that you guys brought out. These codes, they're not even laws. These codes that you guys trying to use on people to say, look, you better pay your taxes. You're like, where's that in the Constitution? It doesn't matter, because you better pay it, or else you're gonna go to, out of nowhere, you home doing nothing. If you're a man, you're having a cold beer or whatever, and you get a letter from the government, from the IRS, say NOD, notice of deficiency. Oh, you owe us $10 million, or whatever it is in taxes. You owe us $100,000. And then now, wow, now you want to, some people, they see this letter, this is called a presentment. You have to come to present your case to us to show that, you owe us that money because you owe us taxes. I don't understand this. You mean to tell me, I go work $400 for the year. I pay you, first of all, I haven't give you $20 already in taxes, which is very unlawful, very bad, very evil. After working for $100, I had to give you $20 out of it. And then you're going to give me a letter say, yo, I owe you another $20 more dollars, if not 30 or 50 more. Who the hell was I working for? For you or for me? That's some evil stuff. Paying taxes, that's for slaves. Back then, when you go in antiquity, in history, real civilization, the citizens of that country, whatever, let's say if it was Rome, the people didn't pay no taxes. You know who paid taxes? The slaves. That's why they went to Jesus. When these dudes they wanted to find, the so-called Jesus, when they wrote the story, or as if this guy really existed, say, okay, we're gonna write it like, okay, then a bunch of other dudes, other groups, trying to find him guilty so they can get him killed. And then they came and tempt him and say, Jesus, what do you think? Should we pay Caesar? Should we pay Caesar taxes? And Jesus said, okay, all right. He started writing on the floor, like he didn't hear them. Like, okay, you guys want to play games? Well, what kind of question was this? Then he said, one of you idiots, bring me a coin. And I said, okay, here's a coin. Jesus said, well, what picture you see on this coin? I mean, does this guy look Israelite to you? Because I'm a Jew, I'm an Israelite. Does this guy look Israelite? This guy look like a heathen. It looks like another nation. And this is the nation that's squeezing us. The Romans. So I said, which picture you see on this thing? I said, I see Obama. I see Caesar. Oh, Caesar. So what are you even asking me? We are slaves to Caesar. That's a normal thing. Once a country come and take over another country and enslave you, now you gotta pay taxes. You gotta pay them their dues. That's why even when so-called Jesus was born in that story, at a certain age, whatever, when he was young, his parents, his mother, his father, they had to go to Jerusalem and pay taxes. I guess whatever that money, they'll take a bucket of money and send it to Rome. Say, Rome, here's your money because we are your pussycat, so here's your money, so we don't have no trouble. We don't have no trouble with you. So Jesus said, look, what you see on this thing? It's Caesar, so guess what? Yes, I'm Caesar's pussycat. I'm Caesar biatch. Yes, I have to pay. So render unto Caesar the thing that's Caesar. Render unto the Most High the thing that's the Most High. So yes, you made your point. Yes, I'm supposed to be a king to free people, but guess what? I can even free myself. So yes, I'm a slave to Caesar. So go ahead, go tell Caesar. Go rat me out. That's what Jesus told the other, the person who wrote the story about Jesus. Yeah, go rat me out. You rats. You hoping that I say, no, we don't have to pay Caesar. Look at me, I'm Jesus. I'm the son of so-called God. I'm not this, and I'm not paying Caesar nothing. Tell Caesar to pull up. Him and the king, the puppet king he put, Herod. Tell both of them, pull up and see what happened. I'm going to call so-called God. Angels going to come down, and then listen, no tax. And Jesus said, look, not only I have to pay tax, I don't even have it. I'm broke. That's even worse. And I'm the so-called son of so-called God. I don't even have it. So well, one of you dudes, my dudes over here, go to the water, just get a fish and then get the money out of his mouth. So you can pay Caesar for me. Wow. I only feel it's that easy. And a lot of people reading that story, they're like, oh wow, that's a very nice story. Wow. Jesus was able to do this. No, he did not. He did not do that. That's a lie. There's no fish. There's no fish with money in their mouth. Every time Jesus got to do something, it's a fish. It's a fish. That guy, he's a fishy guy. He's a fish. You know what a fish is? Like in slang, that's a bocce boy. That's a gay dude. He's a fish. And then he drink like a fish too. He drink a lot of liquor, just like a fish. I mean, yeah, a lot of you who listen to who believe in Jesus, that Jesus guy, I know you're looking at me like, oh wow, you wish you could put hands on me. Like, why you speak against Jesus so bad? A dude that's gonna say somebody slap me, let him slap me or say and get a second slap. He needs a slap. Something's wrong with him. This guy is wow. What the hell? Okay, Jesus is not the story right now. But and a lot of you who already are familiar with my other videos, you already know me and this guy, we like enemies. He's a serpent. All these teachings are garbage. They're like setups to set you up and to get you killed. That's it. That's why he got killed too. His own people, his own boy set him up. Judas must have thought like, yo, something's wrong with this guy. Something's wrong with him. Set him up. This guy always coming in. Every time you wake up, you ain't got no food, you ain't got nothing, and then he's coming with some BS every day. And then you're gonna try to pray up for people like, nigga, you broke, get out of here. Nigga, you smell, go take a shower. But anyway, this topic is not about Jesus. But it's about the law. Man, I know yeah, sometimes I do talk a few more than I'm supposed to talk, but listen, I'm not rushing anything. Life is not that short. I got time. And those of you listening, you got time too. So I'm not rushing anything. But so far, those three laws, those three areas of jurisdiction, I was going a little bit more in depth, these things. And one thing I said in this one, the maritime law, the admiralty law, that part, that's the part where they can find you guilty criminally and then sort of roughen you up in the Constitution. That's it. In the common law, there was none of that there. Common law was you do whatever you want to do. Just do not go violate somebody else or their property or their stuff, whatever it is. Do not violate. But you want to go eat dogs, dung, you can. You want to not only smoke crack, you want to eat crack, whatever, you can. But don't force somebody else to take it. That's the law. That's the common law. But in the Bible, no. Most times say, listen, if you know crack is something that's going to kill you, stay away from it. Stay away from it. Don't eat it. Don't smoke it. If you know eating pork, a pig, the meat is not good for your body, and, well, not if you know, he let us know. The Lord let us know what to do, what not to do. So you didn't have to guess. I said, look, you can do this, that you don't do. And some of these things, if you do, you're going to get whipped. Literally whipped. I'm not just using it in a figuratively. No. Whipped. And some, if you didn't get whipped, you can get stoned. And some, you can get burned alive. And some, you can get hung. And some is just, those are more positive laws. You don't get anything, but they say just do it anyway. It's good for you. For example, you want to wear your little fringes, tassels to remind you of the law. Wear them. It's good for you. But there's no law that says if you don't wear it, you're gonna get whooped. Those are positive commitments. Those are good laws. I'm not saying good laws. All the laws are good. Some laws have penalty, and some say, okay, it says, well, you better write those laws on the posts of your house so that your children, when they wake up, they see them and they can remember them, and it's good for you. But if you have a house, you're like, oh, I don't know about that. That post looks so good. I'm not writing nothing there. Because I don't know. I don't want to write nothing. There was no law that says, well, I went to this guy's house. All his posts has nothing written. Well, we gotta whip him. No, you couldn't. Oh, we gotta hang him. No, you couldn't. No, it's just okay. I guess he's a genius. He can remember it, and him and all his children. They can remember it. Like, I don't know. They got some good memory. They don't need to. They don't need it to be written on no post, nowhere around the house. Whatever it is. Me. You come to my house, you're gonna see by the door something that says, follow the laws. Something, and on my walls. If I would turn the camera, you'll see laws on my wall. You'll see scriptures on my walls. I mean, if I could, well, that's not the point. But anyway, let me see. After those 3 areas, I think I can, maybe the next video I'll see. Maybe I can start going into the history part now of how America, the history of how America got into this mess that they will never get out of. Because every year, the debts keep going up and up and up and up. And those sharks, those creditors, they know how to make the debts go up. Because all they gotta do is create a crisis. Because that's how they started. They create a crisis. Now, once there's a crisis, you gotta go to them. Yo, I need to borrow money. COVID was a big crisis. So America, the federal branch of America, they had to go beg. The people who print the notes, the people who print these notes, the federal notes, they had to beg them, oh, can we get a couple of bucks? Because a lot of people, they can't even work. They got COVID, they got COVID. Please, please, please give us a couple of bucks. Although the debt was a few, let's say the debt was like 27 trillion. Say, how about another 2 more trillion? And that wouldn't hurt. And then there'll be a bunch of talk. Say, oh, wow, we're waiting for the president to sign a paper, say, oh, for the stimulus. And everybody can't wait. Everybody watching every day on the news. Oh, yeah. We need a couple of bucks. Yeah, we dying. Nobody's going to work. We need, not thinking, okay, that's more debts for your government. That means they getting deeper and deeper into debt. Deeper and deeper into debt. That means they become more slaves and more slaves to those bankers, to the Federal Reserve. That says, okay, you guys sign a paper, say, look, you're going to be my biatches, for another $3 more trillion. Cool. All right, boom. Sign it. Oh, you signed it? Good. And then you'll see on the news, you'll see, oh, everybody's happy. You'll see the news. They're showing you paper money being printed. Printed as if that's the money they're gonna use. They're gonna give to the government to send. And everybody's waiting for their either $600, $1,200. Everybody's happy. And then the funny thing about it, you got a crisis, COVID, and then a lot of people not working for a while. They've been hungry. Bad things been happening. And then these people taking their time to see if they can send somebody $400. As if you've been broke for all these months. $400 is gonna do something for you. As if, people couldn't wait for $400. It's a joke. And then they go on TV talking about oh wow, yeah. We all happy. Somebody gonna get 400, maybe somebody, if you're lucky, you're gonna get 1,200, whatever it is. Peanuts. They treat these people like slaves. Worthless slaves. And I'm like, wow, okay, so I've been, all these months I wasn't working. Monthly, my bill could be like $10,000 or more. And you got the nerve to talk about, I'm gonna receive $1,200. What am I gonna do with that? To buy Chinese food? What am I gonna do with that? I just paid for my car and the insurance for like 1 month. And all these madness been happening. I couldn't work. Let's say if I couldn't go, I'm not talking about for myself, specifically. I'm talking about for people. I mean, all of myself included. You've been going through all these things. Your mortgage is like thousands of dollars. And these idiots in the media, like Donald Trump, called these fake news people. They got the nerve. They're broadcasting what this other, the head of the so-called fake government, the federal government, and waiting for him to sign some paper to give you a couple of bucks. And they wonder why people do some criminal stuff to trying to really get some real money. That little $1,200 not going to help them. You got people, I'm sure, among those people, their car note was like $1,200. And they make it sound like, oh, something big, yeah, you know. And the funny thing is, the worst thing about this, when they sign that big debt for America, that America gonna owe now, and you're gonna pay double because they're gonna make you pay it back in your taxes, and then they're gonna make America pay it, and it's still part of the debt, which makes no sense at all. Double, if not triple. These people are crazy. Anyway, let me stop the second video here, and then I'll go to the third one next. There's still more to talk about, more things to expose in this, I don't know what to call it, this so-called civilized country of America, whatever, the United States of whatever. There's a lot of history to talk about. So with this one, I'm going to stop here, and then stay tuned for the third part. Most likely there's going to be a third part, a fourth part, a fifth part, whatever it is. There's going to be more. All right, bye. Shalom.